First and foremost, as always, I like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the 144,130 elect of the nation of Israel, pushing this word, being faithful, believing in a true doctrine. In this lesson, I'm going to play this YouTube short by Dr. B. Teaches Sociology 4471. Or it's a Gadite, a so-called Native American that goes into Native American history, certain massacres that took place here on, the continent of North America. And it's, some useful information, things you don't learn in school. All right. Information that is heavily suppressed by Esau, information that Esau would want to be utterly forgotten. I'm gonna play this little snippet and then, edify on a couple points. All right, so here we go.
Let's talk about the dark story of the Bear River Massacre. In the Bear River Valley, the Shoshones lived in relative peace since time immemorial. But of course, a sinister group of settlers, including Mormons, would arrive in their territory. The Mormon church, led by the powerful Brigham Young, claimed that...
All right, Brigham Young, remember this. We're going to get into some information on dealing with this individual. But you can see the proud, pompous, chauvinistic pig attitude that Clinton's got. All right, inside joke. But you can see the demon on this dude, man. This is a full-fledged Edomite. You can see the pride all in his face, man. Okay.
Their sacred land, taking resources and igniting tensions. Local tribes did their best to protect their homelands and their families. On January 29th, 1863, Colonel Patrick Edwards Connor...
And you can see the demon on this dude, too. All right, this skinny, frail pipsqueak. All right, look, you can see the demon in this dude's eyes, man. Just a straight bug out. He probably was on opiates or something. All right, during the time of this picture. All right, that glossy ass, robotic look. All right.
And his U.S. Army troops and LDS militias descended upon the Shoshone encampment near Bear River. What happened that day is absolutely horrifying. Some 500 Shoshone men, women, and children were slaughtered, including their chief, Bear Hunter. This massacre of indigenous peoples is one of the bloodiest in U.S. history, but very few people know about the massacre. The massacre site now stands as a memorial and a reminder of the atrocities that happened there. Let's talk.
All right, so a lot of times when these massacres take place, the only thing that is left to commemorate it is some placard or some monument that nobody knows about. All right, unless you was taking a trip across the country, a road trip, and you stopped at somewhere to take a piss or something like that, you wouldn't really know exactly what happened. You wouldn't know that this actually existed. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, it's information that is suppressed by Esau Edom. All right. So he mentioned this dude Brigham Young, right? So when he mentioned Brigham Young, I was like, man, that sounds familiar. And then I remember that there's a university, Brigham Young University, and that's where a lot of Mormons go. Okay, so real quick, this is I read this yesterday dealing with this dude on Wikipedia, and there's a couple of things I want to get. All right, now we always go into the Mormons as racist and so on and so forth, which they are. But this is showing you where a lot of that stems from. All right, So this is from Wikipedia. Here it says he formalized the prohibition of black men attaining priesthood, and led the church in the Utah war against the United States. So this dude was a supporter of, Israelite men, so-called Negro men, not being able to attain priesthood. All right, now I wonder why that is so. Okay. All right, so here we'll get to this section: priesthood ban for black men. Okay, it says Young is generally considered to have instituted a church ban against conferring the priesthood on on men of black African descent, who had generally been treated equally to white men in this respect under Smith's presidency. All right, Joseph Smith, which was president before Brigham Young. All right, another demon. It says after settling in Utah in 1848, Young announced the ban, which also forbade blacks from participating in Mormon temple rites such as the endowment or sealings. On many occasions, Young taught, in another thing too, any so-called Negroes or Israelites for that fact that are a part of the Church of Latter-day Saints or Mormons, you are highly insane. All right, you are you're insane. All right. That's just to put it frankly. Okay. It says Young taught that blacks were denied the priesthood because they were the seed of Cain, which that's incorrect. All right, we come from Shem. All right. It says in 1863, Young stated, "Shall I tell you the law of the Most High?" I'll read it verbatim. "Shall I tell you the law of God in regard to the African race?" All right, which we're not Africans, we're Israelites. Okay. If the white man who belongs to the chosen seed mixes his blood with the seed of Cain, which the so-called white race is not the chosen seed. All right, the race of the seed of Esau, Edom is not the chosen seed. Okay, the Lord is not dealing with the Edomite race. Okay, real quick, let me do this so I can. Let me see. Actually, slide, bear with me 1 second. All right, Esau is not Esau is not the chosen seed. Okay, Israel is. All right. Romans 9:1, it says, "I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites." All right. "To whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises." All right, both Old and New Testament. The New Covenant. All right, that's all going to the Israelites, which stem from Shem. All right, as well as Esau, Edom, they come from Shem as well, but that chosen line didn't go through Esau, Edom. It went through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen. All right. Real quick, let me see. Okay, let me start here. It says, verse 9. It says, "For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth." All right, so before Jacob or Esau, which were twins, okay, Jacob being the forefather of the Israelites and Esau being the forefather of the Edomites. All right, before they were even born, the Lord already knew who he was going to bless with the, being his chosen and who he was going to set to the side. Okay. It says, "It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger." All right. So the older, the child that came out first was Esau, and the child that came out second was Jacob. Okay. Whose name was later changed to Israel. It says, "As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated." All right. So there you go. Jacob was loved by the Heavenly Father, and Esau was hated, is hated by the Heavenly Father. Right? When you read Genesis, the 36th chapter, a couple times in that chapter, it tells you that Esau is Edom, meaning when you see Esau in the scriptures, that's synonymous with Edom. Esau being an individual person, and Edom being the race that stemmed from Esau. Okay? So, we know that the Edomites are the so-called Caucasians, and the Israelites are, the tribes that are indigenous to North, Central, and South America, the West Indies, along with, the West African tribes. Okay. All right. And, this is common knowledge for those in the know. Okay. So, okay, let me read this again. It says, "Shall I tell you the law of God in regard to the African race? If the white man who belongs to the chosen seed mixes his blood with the seed of Cain, the penalty under the law of God is death on the spot." And okay, this is like just making shit up, man. Okay, that's first off, you are what your father is according to the scriptures. All right, when you read Numbers, or the book of Numbers, 1 and 18 or 1 and 21, I think it's a couple times in there. But you are what your father is. Okay, so even if an Israelite puts his seed in a woman of another nation, that child is still an Israelite. All right, King David, his father proves that. Okay, you had Ruth, who was a Moabite, a so-called Chinese. All right, if I'm not mistaken, she gave birth to Jesse, which is King David's father. All right, so Jesse didn't come out as a Moabite; he came out as an Israelite. All right, now the so-called Israelis, all right, the small hats, in their warped religion or warped culture, you are what your mother is. Okay, so that might fly with them, but that don't fly with the true law of the Most High, the true law of God. All right. It says, "This will always be so." Young was also a vocal opponent of theories of human polygenesis being a firm voice for standing that all humans were the product of one creation. Okay, it says throughout his time as a prophet, which he was a false prophet. All right, the only he was a false prophet. Okay, it says Young went to great lengths to deny the assumption that he was the author of the practice of priesthood denial to black men, asserting instead that the Lord was. Yeah, okay, but no, that clearly was him, his personal desires. Okay, because according to the scriptures, you had matter of fact, you had the Levitical priests were so-called black. All right, and then the Lord Himself, Yahweh Shai, was a man of color, and he was the ultimate priest. All right, but you had the tribe of Levi that were the priests, and they were so-called black. All right, the tribe that you find in Haiti. All right, let me read this. Hebrews 7:11. It says, "If therefore perfection were by the Levitical priesthood, for under it the people received the law, what further need was there that another priest should arise after the order of Melchizedek, and not be called after the order of Aaron?" It says, "For the priesthood being changed, there is made of necessity a change also of the law. For he of whom these things are spoken pertained to another tribe." All right, because the priests were the tribe of Levi. Okay, but what we just read is pertaining to an individual that doesn't spring from the tribe of Levi. Okay, of which no man gave attendance at the altar, because the tribe of Judah were not priests, and therefore they gave no attendance at the altar. That was the job of the Levites. Okay, it says, "For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood." All right, because Yahweh Shai will become the high priest that we would have to go through in order to be accepted and pretty much communicate vicariously with Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, "And it is yet far more evident, for that after the similitude of Melchizedek there ariseth another priest." Okay, so that's another cut on this guy. Let me see, where was I? Okay. It says, through his time as a false prophet, Young went to great lengths to deny the assumption that he was the author of the practice of priesthood denial to black men, asserting that the Lord was. According to Young, the matter was beyond his personal control and was divinely determined rather than historically or personally, and as many assume. Now, you got to think, why would he be such an advocate of denying black men from being priests? All right, you got my personal opinion is here it is, these so-called Negroes that you want to deny pretty much biblical authority, eventually would realize like yo, this is talking about us. This ain't talking about you. You the one that should be denied the priesthood. Okay, so pretty much, we gonna blackball these so-called Negroes to keep them away from what's really theirs. All right, my personal opinion. It says Young taught that the day would come when black men would again have the priesthood, saying that after all the other children of Adam have the privilege of receiving the priesthood. Come on, man. Where's that in the scriptures? That's nowhere in the scriptures, man. That all the other children of Adam is going to be priests. All right. The only children of Adam that's going to be priests is the children of Israel. All right. Not the children of Elam, not the children of Moab, not the children of Ham, the children of Cush, the children of Ishmael, the children of Cain, the children of Japheth, the children of Ashkenaz. No, the children of Israel is the nation of kings and priests. All right, but that doesn't pertain to anyone else. So there, once again, here this guy, goes off. Which let me read this, man. This is Psalms 50:16. It says, "But unto the wicked the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee?" And that's what Esau does. Anything the Lord says, they do the opposite. The Lord said he don't care about Esau and these other nations, but then Esau is going to try and sit up in some position of authority, saying that the Lord cares about all these nations. The Lord loves all these nations. Anybody can be a priest, but the people that the Lord loves, y'all got to take a back seat and let the heathen get theirs first. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. All right, which Tawada Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the world is going to shit. All right, because Esau's going to shit with it. Okay. Let me continue. Let me see. Over here again. It says, "Young taught that the day would come when black men would again have the priesthood, saying that after all the children of Adam have the privilege of receiving the priesthood and of coming into the kingdom coming into the kingdom of God, and of being redeemed from the four quarters of the earth, and have received the resurrection from the dead, then it will be time enough to remove the curse from Cain and his posterity." All right, which one, we don't come from Cain. Okay. And these individuals redeemed from the four quarters of the earth is talking about Israelites that's scattered, around, the four quarters of the earth. All right. And then these heathens ain't gonna have part in the kingdom. All right. Revelation 11:1, it says, "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise, and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein." Key word, them that worship therein. Okay? Which is going to be the Israelites that's going to worship, within the temple. Okay? It says, "But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall be tread underfoot 42 months. Okay? But the point being that the court which is without, don't measure that, for it's given unto the Gentiles. Meaning there's a separation between the Israelites and the Gentiles, the heathens, the actual heathens, the true heathens. Okay? So that dude, is off on that as well. Okay? It says these racial restrictions remained in place until 1978. So look at that. All right? Which is 78. It wasn't 1978 wasn't too long ago. All right? It says when the policy was rescinded by church president Spencer K. Kimball, and they probably only did that to get dumbass nigga women and dumbass Israelite men, in their churches. It says, and the church subsequently disavowed theories advanced in the past to explain this ban, essentially attributing the origins of the ban solely to Young. Yeah, okay. Try to put all the blame on him, knowing good and damn well they all believe that shit. So, Jeremiah 14:2, it says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. All right, so the tribe of Judah is just using them for instance. All right, now this pertains to Benjamin and Levi, and really all the tribes were brown. All right, had some form of melanin, whether it was being light skinned, brown, or real dark. But all the tribes had pigment. Okay. But Judah mourneth, and the gates of their language, they are black unto the ground, which that word black there in the Hebrew is quadar, which means dark. Okay, so the true Jews are dark. All right, not some pale individuals that this guy would want them to be. All right, so this dude trying to say we come from the seed of Cain. Why does he say that? Because he knows that Cain, which it says also in this page here on Wikipedia, that there was some I just lost it. They mentioned something about Cain being a servant of servants, which the scriptures say that. So because the scriptures say that Cain is going to be a servant of servants, they attribute that to so-called Negroes because that justifies them having us in slavery. Okay? But we are not the seed of Cain. We are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? And we are a dark melanated people. All right, the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Benjamin, tribe of Levi, all right, and the rest of the tribes, have you can find pigment throughout all 12 tribes. Okay. Song of Solomon 1:5, it says, I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Okay, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, 12 tribes. Okay, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Simeon, Manasseh, Zebulun, Gad, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar, Reuben, all right, whatever tribe I might have missed. Okay, it says, I am black but comely, and this was Solomon speaking, King Solomon. Okay. Revelation 1. And this is another thing that I thought of with the so-called Negroes not being allowed in the priesthood, because if you allow a so-called nigga, right, if Brigham Young and the Mormons allowed a nigga up in the pulpit preaching, you know what I'm saying? And then he reads this to the congregation, that's gonna cause commotion, man. All right, so imagine you let a Jake into the priesthood back in the 1840s in the Mormon church, and he comes across this and reads that the Lord is not this blonde-haired, blue-eyed demon that they're pushing, but actually is darker than him. That would change his whole, you know what I'm saying? Change his whole perspective. Okay? It'd be a revolution going on. Revelation 1:13, it says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. All right, so this is clearly a depiction of a so-called black man, of a dark so-called Negro. Okay, brass is brown. Okay, a brown Jake. You see Jake that got a nice brass color to him, but put that in a furnace. All right, and it's going to turn even darker. Okay, this brothers who is brown, but in the summertime, when that sun hit them, they get even more polished. They get a darker polished color to them. You know what I'm saying? Esau don't go through that. Okay, Israelites do, which that's a blessing, man. That's some superhero shit, man. Okay, the water Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. Let me see. Next, let me go to the Utah War. All right, so here, Utah War. It says, because remember, this here, let's play this one more time.
Talk about the dark story of the Bear River Massacre. In the Bear River Valley, the Shoshones lived in relative peace since time immemorial. But of course, a sinister group of settlers, including Mormons, would arrive in their territory. The Mormon Church, led by the powerful Brigham Young, claimed their...
So the Mormon Church, the church was doing massacres. All right, Tom and Billy and Brigham, whatever retarded Edomite names these Edomites had back then. All right, the pipsqueak, skinny Edomite that got a fat Edomite wife and a bunch of retarded looking kids looking like the Whitakers. They were massacring too, man. All right, and those same spirits that was doing that is on the earth today. Okay. As Mormons. All right. So, hey, matter of fact, the brothers and I in 2022, like the fall of 2022, like right at the end of the summer, we went to Idaho to go visit the brother Hananya. Shalom to that brother out in Idaho, in Boise. And when we went out there, it was a whole new world, man. Cause there's nothing but Mormons out there, a bunch of saltless Edomites, that believe in that Mormonism, all right. And you can see, they're passive, but you can see that they're demons, They're demons. They don't like niggas. All right. And you can tell, man. All right.
Sacred land, taking resources and igniting tensions. Local tribes did their best to protect their homelands and their families. On January 29th, 1863, Colonel Patrick Edwards Connor and his U.S. Army troops and LDS militias descended upon the Shoshone encampment.
LDS militias. Okay. Latter-day Saints militias. They had militias. These wannabe wholesome Christian Edomites, they had militias.
Near Bear River. What happened that day is absolutely horrifying. Some 500 Shoshone men, women, and children were slaughtered, including their chief, bear hunter. This massacre of indigenous peoples is one of the bloodiest in U.S. history, but very few people know about the massacre. The massacre site now stands as a memorial and a reminder of the atrocities that happened there. Let's talk.
All right. So, Utah War. It says when federal officials received reports of widespread and systematic obstruction of federal officials in Utah, most notably judges, U.S. President James Buchanan decided in early 1857 to install a non-Mormon governor. Okay, because they had Mormons that whole state of Utah is ran by Mormons, man. Okay. So they wanted to put a non-Mormon governor up in office. Buchanan accepted the reports of the runaway officials without any further investigation, and the new non-sectarian governor was appointed and sent to the new territory accompanied by 2,500 soldiers. When Young received word in July that federal troops were headed to Utah with his replacement, he called out his militia to ambush the federal force using delaying tactics. Now, here, think about that. This dude's supposed to be a Mormon. He's supposed to be some religious man. Okay, and because the president gets word that is bullshit going on in Utah, so he sent somebody to pretty much clean up the mess. And you as a leader of the Mormons, you know what I'm saying, gonna gather your militia together to come against the federal government. You know what I'm saying? Like it just shows you that Esau's a big hypocrite, man. Okay, it says but force using delaying tactics during the defense of Utah, now called the Utah War. Young held the U.S. Army at bay for a winter by taking their cattle and burning supply wagons. Young eventually reached a settlement and the aid of a peace commission and agreed to step down as governor. Buchanan later pardoned Young. All right, look at that 144. But here it is. This Brigham Young, caused harm and damage to the federal government. All right, but then the president pardons this dude. All right, that right there shows you, hypocrisy, because Buchanan wouldn't have did that to no Gadites. He wouldn't have did that to the natives. Okay, the natives that got slaughtered. Okay, as it was going into here, the Bear River Massacre. Those natives that got slaughtered, who was there to step in for them? To pretty much stop them from getting massacred. Pardon them. Okay, we pardon you. You were just defending yourself. This is your land. They were the Mormons were wrong for doing that, or that it'll never happen, man. Okay, it'll never happen. So this is John 10:10. All right, now this is Yahushua talking about what's the word? Hirelings. Okay. It says, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. All right, so the Lord was talking about, hirelings and how he's the good shepherd, as it says here in verse 11. I am the good shepherd. That good shepherd giveth, the good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. Okay. But the point, I'm using this in reference to, Esau, Edom, because they stole everything they have, and they delight in killing, and naturally it's in their spirit to be destructive. Okay, so the thief cometh not but for to kill, steal, and destroy. All right.
Talk about the dark story of the Bear River Massacre.
All right, there you go. All right. Um, and lastly, all right. Here's, let me see, what section is this? Church service, and it's to be the last paragraph. It says, before departing Nouveau, Young focused on completing the Nouveau temple. After the exterior was completed, and that's why we read that in Revelation. Here, the temple, okay, measure the temple and the altar and them that worship therein. All right, but the court which is without the temple leave out. That's why these demons are so fixated on the temple. All right, the so-called Mormons. It says, before departing Nouveau, Young focused on completing the Nouveau temple. After the exterior was completed on December 10th, 1845, members received their temple endowments day and night, and Young officiated many of these sessions. An estimated 5,000 members were endowed between December 10th, 1845 and February 1846. With the repealing of Nouveau's charter in January 1845, church members in Nouveau lost their courts, police, and militia, leaving them vulnerable to attacks by mobs. Young instructed victims of anti-Mormon violence on the outskirts of Nouveau to move to Nouveau. Young negotiated with Stephen A. Douglas and agreed to lead church members out of Nouveau in the spring in exchange for peace. Some Mormons, listen to this, some Mormons counterfeited American and Mexican money in a grand jury indicted Young and other church leaders in 1845. So he was a damn thief. All right, a con man. All right, a swindler, a liar, a cheat. Okay, when officers arrived at the Nouveau Temple to arrest Young, he sent William Miller out in Young's hat and cloak. Miller was arrested but released when it was discovered that he was not Brigham Young. Young himself condemned the counterfeiting. So okay, you condemn the counterfeiting. Oh, it sounds good, but if you weren't involved in the counterfeiting, why would you not? Why would you have this young dude William Miller dress up like you, and you purposefully send him out there to act like he's you if you ain't do nothing wrong. Okay. It says John Turner's biography states it remains unclear whether Young has sanctioned the bogus making operation. The indictment of Young and other leaders, combined with rumors that troops would prevent the Mormons from leaving, led Young to start their exodus in February 1846. All right, so they migrated west. Okay, and just like a real dirtbag greaseball would do. You do dirt one place and then up and leave and go somewhere else. All right, but these this dude was a con man. All right, a damn demon. Okay. First Timothy 6:10, it says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." And it's clear to see that this dude, making counterfeit money. You got that love of money demon on you. All right, which it said, I read somewhere that it was estimated that this dude was worth $600,000 back then in the 1800s, which today would amount to like 16 million. With 16 million in 2024, that's good money. So this dude was you know, he was you know, he was loaded, so to say. All right. But you know, they just, you know, these Mormons just went to Utah, massacred Israelites, the tribe of Gad, and just took their land. Just took their land, man. You know, so I just want to bring that out. I'll leave this YouTube short and this Wikipedia in the description box. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. Until next time, shalom.